Okay. Okay, recording is in progress. Really quick, let me pull up my slides and share my screen. So today we are talking about marketing and branding. And I know that it can feel really overwhelming when you are very first licensed and don't really know how to even get started. But even as a veteran agent, sometimes we need a refresher on the things that are, important to be doing. And, that can lead to different closings. And I don't know, I think social media can definitely feel overwhelming and like maybe I'm not doing enough or other people are better at it. So why should I even try? And so I hope to make it a little bit easier and to feel less scary and overwhelming. And I know everybody can feel that way, whether you're a new agent or not. But this is kind of like just a very broad overview, and I'm not going to be able to get too in depth with everything. And you may have already heard some of these things, but what I would love to do is have you email me with any follow-up questions that you have or other ideas or comments or anything. I always get lots of questions when I teach this, and I love to answer them. So don't think that your question is dumb or that I don't want to hear it, because I do, and I can always learn from your questions as well. So let's get into it. We are today going to just be talking about marketing materials, what's important to get ordered and to have on hand, especially as a new agent, but just as an agent in general. And then I'm going to kind of walk you guys through finding your brand and discovering what things you want to be showing the world, I guess. And then some very beginner social media profiles, things that I have lots of social media ideas for you at the end. I have like a huge list of ideas that you can use and customize. And so if you've been thinking like, oh man, I don't know what I should be posting, or you just feel burnt out, I have a bunch of ideas. So I want you all to steal them. Hi, Amanda, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. I just have you and Regina Hansen on. I was just telling her that we are recording, and if you have questions, you can ask them as we go, or you can type them up and email them to me. But this is a broad overview of what we're doing today, and it's great for new agents, but also it's good to get a refresher even if you're a veteran agent. So let's get started. I want to start by saying there's a few things that you do really need to have as a newer agent if you don't already. And I don't think you need to go crazy, but I do think there are some things that you just should have. And that is, first of all, a business card. I always have people ask me for a business card at the worst time when I don't have one on me. And so not only order them, but have them on you, put them in the different purses in your car. I think a lot of maybe older people tend to ask for business cards, but if you're in a hurry or somebody really is interested in working with you, they're going to say, do you have a card on you? I can grab and I'll get a hold of you later, right? So some of the places that you can order business cards from include the Marketing Design Center. That's what the MDC thing stands for. And that's just through Real Smart Agent. And I will go through that in just a minute. Vistaprint is great. And then Canva is also awesome. I think I designed mine in Canva and then had them printed through Vistaprint. I honestly can't remember. But I have ordered business cards in the past from Canva and from Vistaprint and from Social Me, and they've always turned out really good. So I can attest that they are good quality. The Marketing Design Center business cards are going to be really generic and kind of just throw in the HomeSmart logo for you automatically. They're really, really easy, but they're, like just the typical black and white and red colors that are HomeSmarts. But nothing wrong with that. If you need quick business cards, they're actually a really reasonable price. Yard signs, another important thing. You never know when you're going to get your first listing. I think having them in advance is better than having to rush order them at the last minute when you're like, oh my God, I had a listing appointment and they actually signed and now we have a listing and what do I do? So go order a yard sign, even if it's just one, that's okay. I have like a generic one back here. That's just a plain home. There's a dead bee in it. Ew. Anyways, get a sign ordered. You can also do it from Marketing Design Center. I'll show you guys the website in just a second. I have used buildasign.com to order some things and they get done really quick. They're kind of a cheaper version of like a high quality sign, but there's nothing wrong with them and they come fast and they're not too expensive. So you can order the frame and the insert or through Social Me, which again, oh, I misspelled social. Wow, sorry, I'm stupid. Or local sign companies like I know here in Pocatello, there's like Bangleworks and Social Me was a local company and they have moved to Utah, but they still are semi-local. Like they have a shop in Utah and then they'll just ship it to you here in Idaho. But I love supporting our local companies. So I know IF Signs and Fast Signs in Idaho Falls are also great. And I'm sure in like Meridian and Twin Falls, just ask people for recommendations if you don't know where to get them printed from. Okay, and then your email signature. This is actually free on the Marketing Design Center. It's also free on Canva, but I think it just makes you look like a professional agent and like you're running your business, you know, like a business and that you know what you're doing. So let me show you. Well, first of all, I'll start with Canva, but the first thing is like if you're wanting to do business cards here, you just type in business cards and they have a whole bunch of designs already available for you. You can type in the different keywords, like this one looks like a realtor one already. Oh yeah, see, real estate agency. And then you can just customize this with your phone number, your colors, and I'll get into like colors and fonts in a little bit. But they're pretty like relatively inexpensive and good quality from Canva. And I actually think they just started doing yard signs as well. I've never ordered them from Canva, so I cannot attest to how good their quality is, but you could at least design it in Canva and then have like a local company maybe print it out for you. And then email signatures. They have some really cute ones. I think I made mine here in Canva as well. I'll show it to you guys, but it is, I think it's free to download and you can easily pop it into your Gmail. I don't know how to do it on other platforms, but if you have Gmail, you will just create your email signature and then download it as a JPEG, or I think you can also download it as a PNG, which are just image files. And then you go over here to quick settings and see all settings. And then it should be on this very first tab, the general. You just scroll down, you will see signature, and you can click this button right here, insert image, and then you just upload your little email signature that you have downloaded from Canva. And when you type an email, it'll be right there at the bottom. So if you haven't done that yet, just make one. It's really easy. Include you don't want too much information, but just, you know, a picture and maybe your phone number. You don't really need to put your email address because people are already going to see your email address, hopefully, when you're emailing them. But just keep it simple and true to you. Okay, so that kind of covers like the very basic, where are we? The very basic marketing materials that you're going to need. Social Me, let me show you really, really quick their website, because they have so many different things that you can order. So if you just go to shopsocialme.com, it'll take you right to their website and you can see how many different things they have. They do social media management, but their products are the things that I want you guys to check out mostly. They have little cute signs. They have marketing materials. If you just message them and tell them, hey, I'm looking for signs and business cards, can you help me out? They'll even help you like design a logo and pick colors and stuff. So I really do recommend them. I've used them in the past. Okay, so those are the 3 top things I think you would need as a new agent to get started on your business. You're going to need these things sooner than you think, but it's better to just have them on hand. Okay. The Marketing Design Center as well. Let me show you really, really quick, because they're always updating their different designs and things that they have available for agents. You just go to RSA and then click the Marketing Design Center tab underneath the marketing tab, and it'll take you right here to all of their products. You can see them right here. So I recommend going to agent branding. See all these things. So business cards, you can order email signatures, you could download, get a name badge if you don't have one yet. You can download these free things that are like social media images, or I think this is like other social media posting pictures, the slogans and phrases like, hey, use me as your realtor. Could order these things if you need to. Yard signs are pretty straightforward, but really like quick to get here and easy to just pop your information in and get ordered. See, so they are a little bit like they're reasonable, I would say, as far as the pricing goes, and really, really high quality. If you want to be really bougie, order yourself a lighted yard sign. As we know, it gets dark really early in the winter here in Idaho. So if you want your listing to stand out, you could order the lighted yard sign. Okay, so that is a very broad overview of the marketing materials that you should have. And if you have more questions about those things, let me know. There's other secondary things that you can also order, like postcards and buyer and seller guides, but I'm going to get more into that in just a second. So my next spiel is going to be about social media. And like I said, I know it can feel overwhelming, or like, oh my gosh, how do I even get started? But everybody should have a Google page. You need to kind of, if you just Google my business, you can type in the name of what you want to call your business. So like Amanda Scott Realty, or mine is Kelly Kamick Home Smart Premier Realty, I think is my full name. You have to fill out your information. What do you want your name to be? What is the address you want? I would recommend putting the brokerage office address just for safety purposes. It'll ask you to upload a website URL, or like I said, phone number, email address, pictures, all these different things. You're going to have to verify the address. It'll send you a postcard in the mail, and then it has a code on it. So if you don't have a Google My Business profile yet, you need to do that. I'm not going to show you how to set that up because it's too time consuming, but it is very simple. So you just have to go get that process started if you haven't yet. I know like teams who have creative names, you know, that's the name of their Google business profile, like J&J Realty or Idaho Real Estate. So whatever you want to call it, just make sure that your Google My Business name is the same that people are going to see on Facebook and on Instagram. So it's not confusing like who you are. Google is also great because you need to be able to put, you need to ask people for like reviews or recommendations after closing. You really do want to have, you want to have a presence on Google, because love it or hate it, I think people will Google you before they work with you, right? You're going to Google that restaurant before you go eat at it. You're going to Google the business, if you've never used it before, and a real estate agent is no different. So claim your profile if you haven't yet. It is like I said, really straightforward. Okay, Facebook. So I'm going to get into a little bit more of what to post and branding, but you should have a Facebook page. Long story short, you should have a Facebook page, even if like for me, my Instagram gets a lot more views, I would say, and I probably have more interaction on Instagram, but it's still important to have a Facebook, because when people search for you, or they're curious to see how busy you are, or if you're kind of like a legit real estate agent, having a Facebook is going to add to your credibility. Okay. And you can post, I'll show you in a little bit, but when you post on Instagram, there is an option to just have it sent, uploaded right to Facebook automatically, whatever you're posting in Instagram, and vice versa. So you don't necessarily have to have like Facebook content and Instagram content. Like you can do the same thing and just have it cross posted, is what we call that. So if you haven't yet set up your Facebook, let me give you a really, really, really quick tour of my, oh wait, I'm already on Facebook, look. Just so you can see very quickly like what you need to have when you first create your page. And like I said, make sure that the name of your page is the same thing that people see when they Google you. Okay. So like I said, Kelly Kamick, Home Smart Premier Realty, things to keep in mind for compliance purposes. anything that you advertise on Facebook needs to be one click away from the brokerage name. Okay, so if you're posting as Kelly Kamick, Home Smart Premier Realty, it's already in your name and you're compliant. People can automatically see which brokerage you work for. If they were to click on my name and go here, it's also in this cover photo for Facebook as well. So I'm compliant. I'm not going to get turned into IREC. Some people just aren't. Like if it just says Kelly Kamick and I had this logo but not the brokerage name, I could be in a lot of trouble because it's misleading, right? We need to show people which brokerage we're working under quickly. So when you first create your Facebook page, you want to create it as a page too. You want to click this arrow down here. Oh wait, these buttons, I'm sorry. And then click create page. Okay, it's different than a profile. So your profile is that personal, this one right here, that's just you and your dogs and your kids. Create a business page on Facebook if you don't have one already, because then you can run ads. Okay. You really can't advertise on Facebook as just a profile. You need to have a page. Okay. You're going to have to create a background picture, like a cover photo, I should say. And again, you can do this on Canva. They have them on the Marketing Design Center, all the same places that I just showed you. Facebook cover right here. So you can just go and design one yourself. You can customize it. I know a lot of people change them regularly for like different holidays and seasons and stuff. You don't have to, but just make sure that it kind of aligns with the other branding that you have. And again, I will get into more of what does branding mean in a minute. Okay, but very, very important. Make sure that your profile picture is a picture of you and not just your logo, because people need to see who they're working with, who they're talking to, who is Kelly. You don't want to really hide too much behind generic stock pictures or pictures of houses or just your logo. People need to connect with you. And when I show up to a showing, I want to look a lot like my picture, because if I'm in a suit and tie, not that I would ever wear that, but like if you're in professional clothing in your headshots, but then you show up in jeans and a flannel, it's going to confuse people. So all I'm trying to say is make sure that your personality is genuine and is shown in the pictures that you take, and post a lot of pictures of yourself. I know that that is scary, but I will talk about that as well in a little bit. So cover photo, profile picture of your face, and make sure that your brokerage name is easily found when people come to your page right away. You're going to have to put in this information, your email address, a phone number, and you can do a website URL. I think that's optional. You're going to have to type up a small description of what the page is about. Okay. And then that's pretty much, I think, the basics of what you need on your Facebook. Okay. So if you haven't yet, create a separate profile for your business, your real estate business. I'm going to just probably hop into what we should be posting now. Instagram is, again, very, very similar. I'll show you quickly what mine has in the bio. Your bio on Instagram is kind of like the business card of social media, I guess. People need a quick overview of who you are, where you live and where you work, and what you do. Okay. So on my Instagram, I have the same profile picture that I had on my Facebook page. It's the same name, Realtor. Well, this one says realtor.kellykamick, but easily you can see my name says Kelly Kamick Idaho Realtor, because when people search for a realtor in Idaho, you want your name to be one of the few, the first few that pop up. So if it's in your actual name, it's more likely to show up first. Okay. And then people, like, especially other agents, if they're trying to send you a referral, they'll be able to quickly know which state you work in, right? So I put real estate agent and then living in Chubbuck, Idaho. You want to kind of be specific about where you live. Don't just say, oh, the whole state of Idaho. And I'll get into that in just a minute. And then it says wife and mama and homemaker, brokered by Home Smart Premier Realty. Okay, so I've covered all my bases of who I am, what I do, some of my interests, such as like homemaking, and I'm a mom and a wife as well. So people can get a very quick overview of who you are, where you live, and what you do. Okay, that's important in your Instagram. Now, I want to talk about branding, finding your niche. This is basically what branding is. It's who you are and how you represent yourself to your clients. Okay. So in order to find your brand, if you don't have a brand yet, the very first thing that you need to do is think about your ideal client or your niche. They call it your niche in branding, but here in real estate, what I want you guys to do is grab a notebook or something and write down what your ideal client looks like. Okay. I want you to get specific. Think about where they live. Okay. And don't just say the state of Idaho or Southeast Idaho. I want you to think specifically which town, which county, which neighborhoods do you prefer to work with? Think about if you could create the most perfect client for yourself, where would they live? Okay. Get very specific. What is their age demographic? Are they millennials? Are they retirees? Are they Gen Z? Are they somewhere in the middle? What's their family status? Are they married? Are they engaged? Are they single? Are they later, like I said, in their, 60s and 70s and retiree age, with grown kids, empty nesters? Be very, very specific. I would say, for example, my niche is millennials who are either newlywed, engaged, or like single females, and or have young families like kids under 5. Hobbies, you want to think about what do they do for fun on the weekends? What do they do for work? How much do they make? Are you serving high-end clients? Are you probably more of a middle class family type? Are you low income or people who can barely afford to buy their first house? It doesn't matter. I would just say you need to really narrow it down to the type of client that you want to work with, because the type of marketing that you do towards them will attract those types of clients. So think about the people you want to work with, okay? The people that you enjoy working with. If you can't think of somebody, like, I want you to just think about yourself, okay? What's your family status? What area do you live in? What are your hobbies? Where do you go out to eat? What types of businesses? Where do you shop when you're buying people's Christmas presents? Do you do Amazon? Do you do thrift stores? Do you do local boutiques? I know it's weird, but you really need to get specific, okay? This is going to really, really help you find what to post, okay? All right, so, also on that niche or your client, your target client, I want you to also jot down, or at least think about this later, the types of goals that they have. Are they wanting to get into their first house? Are they wanting to upgrade and buy their second home? Are they wanting to build their dream home? Are they wanting to buy investment properties? So I want you to think about their real estate goals, and also think about their fears that come along with that. Are they nervous for the process of buying a house? Are they worried about their credit score not being high enough? Are they concerned with market data? Like, I think a lot of investors care more about hard numbers, and first-time home buyers probably care more about like the feelings and the scary emotions that come with buying a house. So if you can address some of these fears and kind of come up with solutions for them in what you're posting and the content that you give people, I think you're going to have a really good connection with them. Okay. And they're going to recommend you and they're going to want to work with you. Okay. So kind of get yourself into the mind of who would my ideal client be. Mine, like I said, I'm a wife and homemaker, so I really enjoy decorating and cooking and cleaning and hosting. And I have a 2-year-old, so other toddler mom things are kind of what I like to post or what I'm doing with my day. So I just want you to really, really dig into that niche person, that niche clientele. Okay. So we're going to kind of build our entire branding and marketing based on this person. So I want you to think about, when it comes to things like what colors and fonts should I use, that's where you really need to kind of define your niche as well. So I would recommend, if they are younger, like millennial age, these kind of colors that I use, I think are pretty, and you can copy mine if you want. But really, if you can just think about the things that your ideal client finds attractive, that's what you want to be using. So right here on Canva, you can have brand colors. And so every single thing that I post has one of these three colors in it: a terra or rust kind of reddy color. This green is really like my main branding color. It's on my signs, it's on everything. And then this like mustard yellow. Okay. So for example, if you're working with a lot of investors, maybe go with big, bold colors like black and white or red or blue. If you're working with hippies, do some browns and neutral colors. I don't know. You need to think about what kind of things, and you can go ahead and go like, look at other types of businesses profiles, like go find that boutique that you really like. Go find, I don't know, like the businesses that your ideal client frequents and look at what colors they're using. Also look at their fonts that they use in their branding. And I know it can get overwhelming, but honestly, if you just pick one or two fonts that kind of are attractive to your niche market, then you can just use that font on everything. It's on my signs, it's on my home sellers guide, it's on all of my social media. And I don't have to wonder, oh my God, which font should I use? And I don't use just the default font that comes up on Canva or whatever I'm using to design my posts. It's like, it really does take the burden out of social media because I already know which colors are mine. I already know which fonts. So go through and pick some different fonts. Canva has so many different fonts. You can also Google like good font combinations on Canva. And they'll give you tons of ideas. So I have one that's like a really scripty font, and then one that's a little bit more, I would call it a serif font. But anyways, I won't get too deep into that. Just pick a couple colors that you think look good to your target market and take ideas from your favorite restaurants or brands or influencers or businesses that you think align with your target audience, and write down either the colors that you're using or the fonts. Okay. And then next time you do a post, just stick to those colors. And you should have two or three that you rotate. You should probably have a neutral color in there. I use this like creamy color as a neutral background on everything as well if I want to use a neutral. So when people scroll through my Instagram, you can see my brand colors coming out in my Instagram because I know what my colors are. That's what I make my backgrounds. That's what I try to make come out in the headshot. That's what color my clothes were when I took my headshots. Like it makes it so much easier, and it does make it look a lot more cohesive. You don't have to do every single post that has your colors and your fonts. You should be posting pictures, and I'm gonna give you guys some really good social media ideas in a minute. But when you do post, images that have text or that have a background color, you should know what your colors are. Okay. And you can make your stories, these like little dots, those can be your branding colors too, so that people kind of get a feel for who you are and what your brand is right away. Okay, hopefully that wasn't too confusing. Like I said, please email me with questions. I'm happy to like give advice on colors and fonts. I do have a degree in graphic design, so I find that stuff really interesting and it comes easily to me. So if that's something that you want help with, let me know. Social media will also help you with those things as well. Okay, so let's say you found your target client, you know what they like to do, where they live, and you've discovered some colors and fonts. Now we need to know what the heck to post, right? And I will tell you, one of the biggest no-nos that you can do in real estate is just post real estate, is to just be business, right? And to do just sold, just listed, closed, like just real estate pictures and posts. So don't do that. I think a good ratio to keep in mind is like 25% business, 75% other stuff. And I'm going to give you ideas for the other stuff. When you do have a closing, you should be posting about it. When you have an awesome listing, you should be posting about it. But that should not be all you're posting about. People are going to get so bored. They're going to check off. They're going to unfollow you so fast. I think realistically, people are only buying or selling or moving every 3 to 5 years. So if you have to keep their interest long enough to keep them around until they're ready to buy or sell. Does that make sense? So I'm trying to think about where to go next because there's just so much I could talk about. So let's talk about what you should be posting as far as on both Facebook and on Instagram. It doesn't necessarily matter which one you use more. I would just think about which one your niche or your ideal client likes to use the most. I would say, and I'm not trying to be rude, but older people do tend to gravitate more towards Facebook, and younger people tend to gravitate more towards Instagram. I do use Instagram a lot more, and I use my stories all the time. If you don't know what stories are, when you log into your Instagram, actually, let me go to my home feed, and you go right here. It's these dots at the top. Okay. And to add to your story, you can just swipe left. Okay. And then you can film yourself. Okay. And I'd be happy to like show you some tips and tricks for stories, but just know stories is a fabulous way to connect to your target client, to your followers, to potential leads. Okay. So things that you should be posting. This number 2 topic, post things that your niche will like. That is why it's so important to get so detailed on who is your target client. Okay, so think about the local restaurants where they're eating, where they're shopping, and go and either do a restaurant review or post like, hey, I just ordered this thing at this restaurant. It was really good. I highly recommend it. Here's a picture of it. Shops. So if there's a new business in town that you think is really interesting or that your target client would find interesting, go do a tour of it and show them, here's this new shop, here's where it's located, this is their hours. I would even recommend trying to get like the owner of the business to try to do a quick video with you and just say, hey, come check us out. And, here's where we're located. Just give people, be the resource for your people, be the local resource for your clients. Okay. And your potential clients. Any events that are happening in your area, you should be posting about them. You should be attending them. You should be telling people about them. Like if people don't know, okay, is there anything fun happening for Valentine's Day? Let's show people what's going on. And again, think about your niche. So if you have a stay-at-home mom as your target client, that is going to be really different than a business, a male business owner who's in his 50s, right? But there's still events and networking things that are happening for him. And there's fun mom events that are happening for her. So you really need to just think about where your clients want to go, what they like to do, and be there and tell people about them and show people what is happening. Okay. You can do giveaways. This is a great way to get some new followers on your pages. If you, and let me just say the number of people that follow you is not necessarily a number that you should be worried about. You should be more concerned with, are the people that follow you actually local people who could use you to buy and sell real estate? Because you could have 1,000 followers, but maybe they live in Florida, and they have no intention of moving to Idaho. That does not help you get closings. So it's more important to have high quality people that are living in your area who are likely to use you when it comes time to buy and sell than it is how many people follow you. Giveaways, like I said, good way to get more followers. Keep it local though. Say like, hey, this new business that I just told you about, I'm going to buy, 3 of their most popular products and give them away. All you have to do is like my page, like this shop's page, and generally they'll give you stuff for free. They'll donate if you say you're doing a giveaway, and people have to like their page too. It's a win-win. And then, I'm going to announce the winner in 1 week, but you have to tag friends and you have to share this post. People go crazy for giveaways. You'll get a lot of followers that way. as a newer agent, if you don't know what to post when it comes to real estate, go tour vacant homes, go and go to open houses and just give a tour to people, take pictures, or do like an Instagram live or a Facebook live while you're touring the home. People like to see that, you know, you're out and about and you're in the housing market. You may not even have a client that wants to buy that house, but just go anyways. It's important to know what's happening in the real estate market and what is available in people's price ranges, right? You do want to share about yourself and your family. Like I said, you really want to keep it 25% business, 75% everything else. And people love to see your personal life, as cringy as it is to start posting about it or to like let people in. That is how people will connect to you. Like if you're, let's say you're following a new restaurant and all they ever do is post a very up close picture of the food that they serve, it doesn't necessarily tell you what kind of atmosphere am I in when I'm eating, where is it located, who are the chefs behind, you know, the counter, who are the hostesses and the waitresses, what is the vibe of the restaurant. You need to give people the vibe of what it's like to work with you. So you can do that by talking about your family, giving people updates, even if it's like, oh, I took my vet or my dog to the vet today and, you know, we had this done, you know, whatever. I don't care what it is. If it seems boring, it's probably not, and people can probably relate to it. Even if it's grocery shopping, even if it's getting your oil changed, people need to see who you are, how you talk to people, how you talk, what you do with your life. Okay, and especially as a new agent, I think it would be great to show people the process of becoming a new agent. So if today you are, you know, ordering your business cards, you could get on and say like, hey, help me pick which colors to go with. And should I do a vertical one or a horizontal one? What do you think? Or, you know, hey, I just passed my real estate test. I'm so excited. It was really hard. I'm going to go celebrate by eating out at this local restaurant. Or, you know, even if you have hard days as a realtor, I think it's important to still show that to people and be real and honest and say like, look, today sucked and I lost a deal and I had a client tell me that I sucked and it really hurt my feelings. And I think that kind of vulnerability is really, really important, because if people just see the perfect image of you and never get a real deep dive into you and your story, then they're not going to be able to connect and they are going to get bored and they are going to stop following you. So I mean, yes, you should use some tact and you don't need to air all your dirty laundry. And I would personally recommend not posting too much about religion or politics, but there's still a time and a place, and your niche should, you know, align with your ideal beliefs when it comes to those things too. So that if you post about church or you post about a political rally or something that you're going to, you know, it's not going to turn away your entire audience. It's going to hopefully align with them and people will want to work with you more. But do it with taste. You know, you'd never want to badmouth people. You don't want to be judgy. And I think it's just important to still be real and honest. It's more important to be genuine, show people what your real life looks like, than it is to have perfect, beautiful feeds of the perfect colors and fonts. Okay. It doesn't have to be every single thing, you know, the perfect colors or the perfect font. Okay. I just want you to be posting yourself. That is how people will connect with you and remember you and want to work with you. Okay. So let's see here. You need to be posting about hyper local topics. Like I said, definitely stay local to neighborhood, go give a neighborhood tour, go to local events and tag the plate. You can tag places when you go, tag those places, tag those businesses. You can check in when you go visit places, because the people who live and go to those places and live around them will follow that, or it will show up in their feeds, because the algorithms are pretty smart when it comes to social media. They're going to show people the things that are happening around them, or, you know, pictures and posts of the local things that are close to them. Okay. You do need to be talking to people. So yes, while posting on Instagram is important. Posting on Facebook is important. You should also be on on your stories, like I said. And I know it can be scary, but imagine that you're just following somebody down the sidewalk and you're like just walking behind them, and all you ever do is see the back of their head. Like, first of all, that's creepy and weird, but second of all, you like don't have a chance to get to know them. You don't see what they look like. You can't engage or connect to them. That's what it's like to just post real estate stuff. You should be on your stories saying like, hey, today I went and got Nutty Professor coffee from Impressed. It is so good, and I recommend them. They're a new drive-through coffee shop in Chubbuck. You should go give them a try and let me know what drink you're getting. Like, you need to show your face and be talking to your people. And the best way to do that, in my opinion, is on stories. Okay, so like I said, you just swipe and you'll be able to film yourself. Okay. And you can, I honestly, here's a good rule of thumb. Just aim for like 2 minutes on your story every day. Show people where you're going, what you're doing, what you're eating, what you're cleaning. If, like I post the things I'm cleaning and organizing all the time. That is what's going to interest people. You could show people, yep, we're doing an inspection today. Here's the house that I'm at, and here's why getting an inspection is really important. But if all you ever do is post about real estate, like I said, people are going to get bored. So I would just recommend trying to hop on stories for 2 minutes a day. Maybe that feels a little more doable than like, oh my God, I have to spend my whole life on my phone. And you don't. Just 2 minutes a day on your stories, and maybe posting every other day is going to get you so much more engagement and high quality followers. Okay, I promise you. So I have a huge list of ideas of what to post, whether you're a new agent or you are a veteran agent. I think these things can help you. And feel free to go to any of my pages, whether it's going to be the same content like on Facebook and on Instagram, but go steal my stuff. Like, go take my ideas and make them better, make them fit your target audience. I have no problem sharing my ideas. And I want you guys to see the same kind of success that I've seen, because I was on a team and then I started my own brand October of 2020. And I have had people find me on Instagram, and I've already had like probably 3 or 4 closings from people finding me on Instagram just in the last year and a half because of my consistent posting, my branding. Somebody said, oh, I love your consistency on Instagram. That's why I wanted to work with you. Like, what? That's so weird. What a random reason, but it works. I've had other realtors send me referrals. And so you do need to be consistent and patient with yourself as you're posting things. Maybe you don't get business immediately from it, but if you are consistent and you continue to show up and you continue to be genuine, you will eventually get leads. And hopefully these people that are following you and wanting to work with you are an ideal client, and they're not just like the rude people that are like cold leads from Op City or from Facebook that like have no respect for you. When you brand and market yourself towards that target client, that's who's going to come and work for you. That's who's going to want to hire you. And that just makes your business and your life in real estate so much more enjoyable when you like working with the clients. Okay. All right. So some ideas, and I could go on and on, but I'm just going to give you a few, write these down. Okay. Like I said, ideas for new agents: show people your journey. So behind the scenes of getting your marketing materials ordered, going to the luncheons or to the brokerage meetings, or setting up your home office, or maybe show people how much it costs to get into real estate. Like, look at all these fees that I have. I have a Supra fee, and I have a association fee, and a monthly brokerage fee. Like, holy cow, that's something they don't tell you always at the beginning, right? But be vulnerable and show people those things. Maybe tell people some things that you have been learning in your real estate classes or continuing education classes that you didn't know. I think people think they know a lot about real estate, but then if you become a realtor, you see, oh my God, I had no idea all the different things that go into it, and the things we need to know, and the different, laws and things that we need to be compliant with. And it can be overwhelming, but I think it's fun to share just little tidbits of that with your people. Okay. Like I said, local businesses and events. I just want you to think of like 5 businesses, 5 restaurants, or 5 shops that you can go and either do a video tour of or take pictures of and do a post. Ideally, post yourself eating their food or holding up their product so that your face can be in it too. And then tag that business and do, you know, tag the business and tag the location, and that will help put you in front of the same types of people who go to those places. Okay. Events, local events, go get involved. You have got to go out and meet people if you're going to get business. So whether it's a networking group, local mom groups, business owner get-togethers and meetups, I see those all the time on Facebook. Just start searching or asking people where they go or what they do for fun, whether it's for hobby purposes or for business. If you can increase the number of people that you know or that are in your database, is what we like to call that, the more likely you are to get closings and to have those leads and to have those people come to you when it's time to buy and sell. If you are a hermit and you stay home and you never meet new people, it's going to be really hard for you to get closings and for you to go out and work with people. So that's just, I know it can be scary, but just go to the places that you like to go. So it's less scary. My husband, if he were to be a realtor, I guarantee you, he would get leads from jujitsu, from Dungeons and Dragons, like his nerdy games that he plays. Like he plays volleyball on a rec league. He would have an endless supply of people because he has so many hobbies, and I don't understand them and I don't relate to them, but that would be his target client, right? So I don't care what it is, just go out and be involved. Okay. Post about it. Do a neighborhood tour, maybe especially if there's all kinds of new subdivisions going in all over Idaho right now. Go drive through and say like, hey, look, these lots are available if you want to build your dream home, or here's a local park that is close by that you could take your kids to, or right down the street there's this new coffee shop, so on your way to work it would be easy to just grab your cup of joe and here's the neighborhood, here's what it looks like. Just show people, be out and about. Local parks, libraries, bakeries, shops, go post about it. Go post restaurant reviews when new restaurants open. You do want to introduce yourself to your audience regularly, because if you're doing these things, you'll probably get followers, like new people following you regularly. So don't forget to say like, hey, I'm Kelly, I'm a mom. I am 6 months pregnant with my second kid, and my oldest son is 2 years old, and here's a little bit about me. You need to reintroduce yourself often. You can show people your spouse or your pets, like whatever it is, just show people and introduce yourself often. Share your work environment. So do a tour of your office, do a tour of the HomeSmart office, do a tour of your car, because we work in our cars, and say like, look, this is a real life look at what a realtor's car looks like. And that is terrifying, let me tell you, but people would find that so interesting. They'd be like, oh my gosh, you would do a lot in your car, and look at what she has in there. So share your work environment, tour vacant listings. Like I said, something that you can be working on right now is creating guides. When I say guides, I mean first time home buyer guides, a seller's guide, a relocation guide that has all of your favorite places to eat, favorite things to do, and a little bit about the town that you live in and work in, right? So make these things on Canva, get them printed up or have digital copies. Make sure that it matches your branding and has your pictures in it, has your colors, has your fonts, has your logo if you have a logo, and just get that created now. And then when you have clients, when you have a buyer, you can say, hey, I'm going to email you my buyer's guide. When you have a seller, email the seller's guide. Every once in a while, I'll post about my relocation guide and say, hey, if you want a guide for my favorite things to do in the Southeast Idaho area, like within 2 hours of Pocatello, let me know. I'll email it to you. It has my favorite restaurants and miscellaneous services like, where do I recommend for salons and spas, or car maintenance and home maintenance people, and just be a resource for people. Okay. Make these guides now, and you can post about them. You can tell people that you would love to send them a copy of it. Like, you're going to get people that want that. I had a closing from somebody who wanted my relocation guide, and she moved here from Hawaii after reading my relocation guide. I had done a post about it on Instagram and said, let me know if you want one. Just got done with my relocation guide. Anyways, make your guides, look on Canva. You can also purchase some already created templates from Etsy. Just type in relocation guide for realtors. People have already done the work. You could just purchase it and, customize it. Don't create it from scratch if you don't have to. Interviewing affiliates is another fabulous thing to do when you don't know what to post. So if you have not yet introduced yourself or met people, you need to go find some lenders, find some title and escrow officers that you can interview to ask about the closing process or what their role is when a buyer is purchasing a home. Go interview local home inspectors and have them tell you some of the biggest issues that they find in houses. Free marketing for them, great content for you. People are going to find it really interesting, and it's not all about you, right? It takes the pressure off a little bit, but you're still creating content, and it has to do with real estate. Okay. It's a great way to build up your affiliate, your go-to affiliates. I'm positive Amanda and Regina probably have, inspectors and title companies and lenders that they recommend to people often because they've worked with them. So go interview them and have them help you make videos and tell you their tips, right? It's really easy to make content. Okay. Join groups or clubs, do a giveaway, things to do in your area based on your niche. Keep your target client in mind always. Home maintenance ideas. Okay. Literally anything. Like Jessica DeSpassos posts all the time about like cheap home decor that makes your house cute, that's trendy. Her target client like shops at Target and Amazon, and and the dollar store. Like, she does dollar store decoration ideas. Okay. So literally just think about your niche, what they like to do. If you find an idea, take it, but make it your own, right? Logistics, a couple last minute things to tell you about social media. I do want to wrap up by 10:30, but I would recommend posting 3 to 5 times a week. I can show this to you guys later, but you can make it so that when you post on Instagram, it goes right to your Facebook page. Okay. It just automatically posts the same content. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I do think that you should, if you have 2 separate profiles or pages, a personal Instagram and a real estate Instagram, I would just be warned that your real estate Instagram doesn't get too real estatey. Like I said, do not just be posting just sold, just listed, closed, or pending. Like, I don't want to see just that. I want to see your personal life on your business page as well. I want you to use these ideas that I've given you and incorporate that into your business pages or profiles. Okay. It is totally fine to I have an Instagram that I have on private. That's just like my family, my child. I don't really post anything too vulnerable or weird, but like my weirder stuff is probably going to go on my personal profile page. And then my Instagram for real estate, still very personable. I post my family. I post, like I said, a lot of local events and the things that I like to do around the house, but it's also where I post my real estate things, and it is public, so anybody can find it. Okay. So just keep that in mind. But like I said, you should have a Facebook page so you can boost ads when the time comes and you have a great listing. You can boost the ad. I can tell you more about that later, but
I have a question.
yes.
Is it a good idea to like post some real estate on your personal page?
Yeah.
To bring like personal, like let your family, friends, whatever.
Totally. Yes. Great question. I tend to, generally what I do, and I've had some good luck, and it actually has gotten me more followers on that business page, is like, let's say I have a buyer who's looking for a specific type of house in a price range. I will type that up, put it on my Facebook business page, my real estate page, and then I share it to my personal profile. But I also say, hey, friends and family, just so you know, I'm looking for this house for this buyer. If you know of anybody, please send them my way, and go follow my real estate page. So I kind of every once in a while will share it. You can also just type up whatever and put, just put it on your regular profile as well. But I really like to share so that I get more people to go follow that Facebook page. Now you can, like I said, I think it's important to be on stories. Just aim for, 30 seconds to 2 minutes per day. And it doesn't always have to be your face. It can be what you're eating for breakfast or a time lapse of you cleaning your house, whatever. It doesn't have to be crazy. But I would recommend posting 3 to 5 times a week, maybe aim for every other day. I have certain days I don't even get on social media, and it's really good to give yourself that break. But if you're not showing up consistently, then people think that you're not still in business. So that's why I say 3 to 5 times a week. You can plan them ahead of time. So like sometimes, honestly, on Sundays, I run the back soundboard at my church, and I'm there for like 6 hours a day. I'll just start writing out my posts for the week and create my images on Canva. And I'll put reminders in my phone of when I'm going to be posting those things. And you can schedule them to like automatically post for you. Thank you. But I don't find that I get as much engagement. So instead of scheduling them out to post automatically, which you can do on Facebook and Instagram, I just put it in my notes app on my phone, like type out the caption that I'm going to do and design the pictures on Canva. Canva does have a mobile app, by the way, so you could do it on your phone. And I think of topics and I'm like, hey, here's my real estate post for the week. Here's why an inspection is important, and the things that I see most often that come up in an inspection contingency. Here are the local events coming up for Pocatello for Valentine's Day or Super Bowl Sunday. Here's where you can go watch the game. Maybe here's some recipes. That's what I just did today, is Super Bowl recipes. And then maybe something personal like, here's my family. Here's, Isaiah's got potty trained this week, and I'm going out and going to all of our brokerage meetings this week, in Meridian and Twin Falls. And I don't know, like, I just think people care more about your life than they really do about just sold and just listed properties. They will ask you for those things, and you should be able to provide those things, but that should not be all that you're posting about, right? So like I said, schedule it out, type it out ahead of time. You could do it day by day, but if you have time and you have some good ideas, just type them out in your notes app and then say, I'm going to do it this one on Monday, this one on Wednesday, and this one on Friday. And then hop on your stories throughout the week and let people know that you're busy, and go show houses and go tell people what it's like to be a realtor. Just be real. Okay. I think that covers everything that I had. Like I said, that was a really broad overview, and I know it can feel really overwhelming, but if you follow my advice, it's not going to feel overwhelming. You're already going to know what to post. You're going to know what fonts to use and what colors to use and what you should be posting, right? So hopefully this made everything feel a little bit more easy and doable. And I believe in each of you. I know a little bit about each of you. Some of you I know a little bit more, but all of you have interesting lives that people want to see. I don't care what you're going through. People want to see your life, even if it's messy. And if you think it's not interesting, it is interesting. What you're doing is going to connect with somebody. So you need to be posting about it. Some of the resources I recommended: canva.com, marketdwellings.com. I didn't show you guys that, but I freaking love Market Dwellings. If you want good ideas for like pop by gifts or seasonal things that you can give to your clients, go to marketdwellings.com. They have tons of materials, really reasonably priced. Almost every single thing that they have has a slot for your business card to go into. Okay, so start thinking about maybe, some St. Patrick's Day pop by gifts, some spring marketing materials. They have so many. Go to marketdwellings.com. Highly recommend that. I don't have time to get into how much I love that. Okay, coffeecontracts.com is the easy way out. They have tons of ideas for content, like social media posts. They're literally a social media content creation website. And so you sign up and they give you like 30 days of content, and all you have to do is customize it and put your colors in and post it. I think it's I do use them sometimes when I can't think of anything, but I still think it's good to kind of just go back to thinking about who's your target niche and keeping it local. So you don't have to, but if you wanted to pay for a service, you can go use coffeecontracts.com. Shopsocialme.com has those marketing materials I talked about at the beginning. Buildasign.com if you need to order yard signs for cheap. Vistaprint if you need cheap business cards or postcards or whatever. I think they do door hangers as well. But also, like I said, please email me any in-depth questions you have or things that you're confused about, because I would love to answer those a lot more in depth if I can. Okay. Any last minute questions? I appreciate you guys so much for being on here. Thank you for listening to my rant for 1 hour. It was really fun for me. I love this stuff, but I am going to stop the recording now. So if people missed it or couldn't get on, then I will be able to send it to them.